All right, let's dive into a really fascinating ancient intellectual puzzle. It's basically a logic problem, but it's all wrapped up in a sacred ritual. It's a story about a priest, a simple measure of flour, and what happens when a perfect daily routine just goes completely sideways. So let's get right to the absolute heart of the problem. You've got this sacred duty, something that's been done perfectly for generations. And then bam, it's interrupted by something as final as death. What do? Can the ritual even be saved? Can it be completed? Well, the answer is not nearly as simple as you might think. So before we can understand what happens when the ritual breaks, we've got to understand how it's supposed to work when everything is going perfectly. So let's take a look at the high priest's daily offering. On the surface, the process is deceptively simple. It's just a 4-step routine every single day. First, the high priest brings one complete whole measure of fine flour. Next, he very carefully divides that one measure into 2 perfectly equal halves. Step 3, he sacrifices the first half in the morning. And step 4, he sacrifices the second half in the evening. Simple, right? One whole thing becomes 2 halves and the day's duties complete. But why? Why does it have to be this exact way? Why not just bring one bag of flour in the morning and another in the evening? Well, the entire logic for this whole process is buried in one single, tiny, but absolutely crucial word from a biblical verse. And here it is, from the book of Leviticus. The verse says, half of it in the morning and half of it in the evening. I want you to really focus on that tiny little word, it. This is how the ancient scholars broke it down. They said, look, if the text just said a half in the morning and a half in the evening, sure, you could bring 2 totally separate portions. But that word, it, well, that creates an unbreakable logical link. Both the morning and evening sacrifices have to be halves of it, of that original single whole measure of flour. They are completely conceptually inseparable. Okay, so we've got our rule of wholeness. Everything has to come from one single, complete unit. Got it. But what happens when life gets in the way? This is where our puzzle really begins. So the ancient texts, they imagine 2 very specific, very dramatic problems. First scenario, what if the high priest does the morning offering perfectly, but then tragically dies before evening comes? Or scenario 2, what if that second half, the one for the evening, just gets lost? Or maybe it becomes ritually impure, totally unusable. In both of these cases, the ritual is broken, right smack in the middle. So what do? The day's not over. The evening offering is still required. But the second half of that original whole is just gone, either because its owner is no longer with us, or it's literally lost. So how on earth do you complete an incomplete set? Can this ritual even be saved at this point? Okay, the solution here is a true masterclass in logical consistency. And I'm going to tell you right now, it is probably not what your modern efficiency-obsessed brain would come up with first. Let's think about the obvious answers, right? If the priest dies, can't the new high priest just, use the flour that's already sitting there? Or if the flour gets lost, why not just bring a new half measure to replace it? I mean, these seem practical, totally logical, but they're both wrong. Why? Because they both violate the rule of wholeness. One option tries to link a new priest to an old offering, and the other introduces a random half that has no original whole. Both are a no. And that brings us to the correct and kind of wild answer. The first priest's offering is essentially frozen in time. One half was offered, the other half is now considered lost. Period. The new priest has to start the entire process over. He brings a new, complete, whole measure of flour. He divides it into 2, he sacrifices one of those halves for the evening offering, and the other half, it's just discarded. It's also considered lost. So let's just do a quick count. Over the course of this one very chaotic day, we are now dealing with a grand total of 4, count them, 4 half portions of flour. So let's look at the final accounting for the day. At the end of it all, 2 halves were properly sacrificed, one in the morning from the first batch and one in the evening from the second. But 2 other halves were completely lost. 50% of the flour brought for this holy ritual was never even used. From a purely practical standpoint, this seems unbelievably wasteful. But here's the key. It's not about waste. This whole logical puzzle is designed to teach a much, much deeper principle. It's all about valuing something more than just material efficiency. And that principle is something we can call ritual integrity. It's this core idea that the conceptual framework, that wholeness we talked about, is everything. Following the procedure correctly to protect the idea is way more important than saving a little bit of flour. You see, the whole system is designed to protect the idea. The offering isn't just a pile of flour, it is the physical manifestation of the concept of a complete offering dedicated for the day. If you compromise on the wholeness, you break the idea itself. And that is a much greater failure than losing some of the material. And this really presents a challenge to our own way of thinking. I mean, we live in a world that is obsessed with productivity hacks, shortcuts, life hacks, efficiency above everything else. So it's worth asking, right? What can we learn from an ancient system that argues some things, some principles, some ideas are so important that their integrity has to be preserved, even if it looks wasteful on the surface? What in our own lives is worth protecting with that kind of uncompromising wholeness?